Welcome back to the Marketing Metal Creator Space here at the Advanced Manufacturing Expo in Grand Rapids, Michigan. We are live here today, and I have the honor of interviewing the one and the only and the wonderful Joni Cunningham from Creston Industrial Sales. Thank you for joining us today. Super happy to have you here. Let's get into it. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your role at Creston?
A little bit about myself. I'm from Alaska. I was born and raised in Alaska.
There you go.
I grew up hunting and fishing and all things outdoors. I've been coming to Michigan since I was a child. And I ended up moving here 6 years ago to care for my parents as they aged. And I didn't want my younger children to not be involved.
Yeah.
So I was previously working at the gym, MVP. And I loved it. And I was just seeking for something more. I don't have a marketing background, but Creston took a chance on me. I think personality and a depth of experience across many areas. I'm kind of like a vendor liaison. I just, people are my thing. And even here when people come, I want to make sure that you guys have a great time. You feel like this is someplace you want to be, someplace that you like what's going on around you. And, you guys are bringing people to the show. You're bringing kids to the show. When I started 3 years ago, there were no kids. And then when I came in, it was me and one other woman. So it's wonderful to see all of these women. And I feel real good about giving you guys the opportunity to let you shine and have your voice be heard in a different platform.
I love that because I feel like there's so many kids this year. If you're not here at AME, get here tomorrow because there's so much going on. There's so many kids, and she's the girl that did it all. So you already talked a little bit about like how you got here, not how you got here, but how you didn't have like any background in marketing. But how did you get to Creston specifically? Was it an accident? Did someone get you hired there? Like, how did that process go?
I was looking for full-time work because $10 at the gym just really wasn't cutting it. And as much as I loved it, I needed something more. So my youngest son was going into school. Went to a temp agency.
Nice.
And I think, they're like, you would be great for this role. And I'm like, ooh, I don't have any of that experience or any of that experience. So, ooh, social media, right? Not my thing, right? Like, I missed the boat on all that. Right? I had my first cell phone when I was 22. I was just like, I want to challenge myself. Funny story is that after I got hired, the owner, Paul, I knew Paul and his wife from the gym, but I didn't know that's who I was coming to work for. Came in for the interview, and the director at the time hired me right on the spot. Right? I'm relatively confident and know that any role that I'm choosing to put myself into, that I'm going to rise to the occasion.
I guess you are. And I love that because everyone else I've talked to today have said the same thing. Like manufacturing has put confidence in them, like personal lives, business lives, whatever it is. It's instilled confidence, and I see that with you.
It absolutely has. If you would have met me 5 years ago, I wasn't this person.
Right.
I would be literally hiding in the corner somewhere. It's not that I didn't have confidence like in myself, it's that I'd been working from home or I wasn't interacting with people. So to just start a conversation, I'd be like, I like your shoes. Right? It was harder for me, but this gives me a platform that I'm passionate about. And when I'm talking about work, I'm the most confident, right? I love what I'm doing. I love to see just in the course of the 3 years that I've been involved in the show, how much has changed. I mean, even since you've been coming here, how much different.
It's different every year.
Every year.
There's more people every year, more booths every year.
100%. It's getting so much better as the years go on. And as I learn, nuances on, and I listen to people, what they liked, what they didn't like, what was hard for them. So I work to make changes every year based on the feedback that I get. And I love to get the feedback from the women and the children and the things that they would like to see. And I love that every year there's more and more and more kids. And they're excited. Like last year, Rocky came and he got to plasma cut with Ray Ripple. I was like, I love her. I was like, me too, bud, me too.
I love that. I know kids were dying to see the Boston Dynamics robot or a dog or spot, I think it is.
So there are 4 here this year.
Yes.
They're rocking around the show.
You want to see all the kids? They're over there.
Yes, they are, I was going to say, if your kids like robots, everybody likes robots.
Bring them down.
And what I do like about the automation hall is a lot of this stuff is interactive. Where kids can go and do that, right? Like both of my kids, my daughter is 10 and my youngest son is 9, and every year they come and they see something new and they get to experience something they're never going to be exposed to at any other time. And if you don't start at this age, by the time a lot of them get to high school, they've already been steered in a way. Right? Little kids, a lot of times, they'll start taking stuff apart.
Right.
Those are the kids that need to come to the show.
Yep. The kids that play with Legos.
100%.
Like that.
Because they're going to see these robots. And then we have first robotics not here this year, but they will be next year. But for kids to see that kids their age built these robots.
Right.
It's like almost like aha moments. You can see it in their head.
I can do that. Yeah.
That's what's really great. And I love the fact that they allow kids to come to the show.
Yeah, no, I think that's awesome. So is there anything, like any challenges you faced coming into your role? Was there anyone that was like a mentor to you?
Yes. So Scott Cadillac.
Shout out to Scott.
He's really helped me grow exponentially, pushed me to be better, believe more in myself. Outside of the gym, this is really the first experience that I've had with a male boss.
Yeah.
That has helped me to grow and made me believe that I could be more. He's a wonderful boss. We work very well together. Not just what he does for me, but I think he does that for a lot of women that are in and around his life, is that he believes in them. And I think as a woman, a lot of times, you can't do that, or you're not good enough, that's not right, or whatever. Mm-hmm. He allows me to be myself and do things as I want to do them because he believes in the choices that I'm going to make.
Yeah.
He'll give me his input, but he'll let me do it, whether I'm failing or not.
It's okay to fail.
Yeah, 100%. Not that I fail.
No, she doesn't ever. No. But I think that's good because as young girls, it's like instilled in us that we're not supposed to, we can't do certain things or we shouldn't do certain things. And then there's people in our lives as we grow that will help us see that, no, that's not true. You can do whatever you want. And it sounds like that's Scott for you. Yeah. So shout out to Scott. Were there any challenges you faced coming into it? Obviously, you said you didn't have a marketing background, so was that a hard shift for you, or?
The social media aspect was a really hard shift. Okay. And you notice I don't do a lot of videos because that's when my weird and awkward come out. I'm like,
you should see how many retakes I take of myself.
So I prefer not to do videos. Yeah. I think that a picture says 1,000 words. I just wish that I had help with content. We don't build anything. We don't make anything. And as a distributor, if I'm sitting in front of my desk all day long, nobody else is feeding me content, it becomes very challenging. Yeah. So I've had to become creative. So really in the way that I'm creative is that I will post about work couple times, 2 times a week, but mostly it's personal, like how I'm feeling, or today I hope you're great, or I genuinely care about people, and I hope that comes through in the work that I'm doing.
Yeah, and it's genuine. When I see your stuff online, I'm like, I'm reading something about Joni today. I know Joni, I know Creston, so it's a good way to market because I know a lot of people online are just like, we sell this is what we do, and it's just mundane and repetitive, and we need that. Yeah. We need you. We need people like that.
But the thing is that anybody can sell what we sell.
Yes.
That's not what makes Creston special. Mm-hmm. What makes Creston special is the really incredible people that we have working here. Yeah. If you actually really want a partner, you want somebody that you can trust. Right. Somebody that is going to bring you the right tool for the job and not just, well, we get a bonus on this one. It's not about that. Yeah. And support you all the way through. We're not just going to drop it off and leave. We're going to be there to support you. And if that doesn't work, we're going to try again. Yeah. And we're working to help you to save money, to save time, to be better. Yeah. Right? So, and a lot of larger distribution partners, it's not about that. It's not about the relationship. It's about turn and burn. We want to be your long-term partner. Yeah. We want to be your go-to source. And sometimes we may not win because we are smaller. But where you're always going to win is the relationship that you have with our team. Yeah, which is why LinkedIn is great. Yes, 100%. So, is there anything that keeps you in the industry? Anything specific? Yes. I love it. I really do. I walk around and I look at the show here and I see all these really cool tools. Mm-hmm. And it reminds me of my grandfather, who was a woodworker, and he had these huge lathes. And my other grandfather, he built a monster truck. In his garage. There you go. When I was little. So all of these mechanical things I always had, cool, but I never got the opportunity to really be around them. Right. And to see how they work. It's incredible to me to see the mechanical mind work, because that's not my mind. Right? I'm with you there. That's not my mind. I appreciate, people that work with their hands, that build things, that make things, right? Because who doesn't want to make something and it'd be really cool and it worked?
Right.
Right. Sometimes I try to build a vacuum and it's not working, so I gotta try again.
No, I love that though, because like I have gained such a deep appreciation for the people here, no matter what they're doing. Engineers,
100%.
machinists, the people here are just incredible, smart, and it's like I love being in the environment. So
I agree. And not just that, they're really some of the most genuine, kind, and open people I've ever come across in any industry, right? And that's what I really love about it. You don't go by and their hands are dirty, they're like, I'm like, I got you.
Yeah.
I was like, we're here together, man.
Right.
Like, I don't care that your hands are dirty. Look what you just built.
Right.
Right? I love it for the same reasons. There's some really incredible people here.
Yeah.
I like it that it's not your average office worker, pusher. It's all walks of life, right? And it seems that everybody gets along pretty darn good.
Yeah.
Right? And I like the fact that in my experience in this industry, people are willing to help lift others up.
Yeah.
And it's not, I'm sorry, it's about me.
Right.
You know, kick rocks.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that
Yeah,
out there where
I
people
agree.
will, they're like, I'm rooting for you just like you're rooting
Yes.
for me. There's no tension. There's nothing.
No.
It's like that with everyone. Like we're
Yeah.
all in it together. We're not all competitors.
But have
like,
you had, sorry to answer your questions, have you had another experience where you were in an industry where you had others lifting you to make you more?
That's a good question because I really don't think so.
Exactly.
Which is sad to say, but like I've only had maybe 2 jobs before this, but
Sure.
it wasn't uplifting environments.
No.
It was just you come in and you hated your job, you're just there for the money and getting
And
the
it was-
hours. And it was right? Like,
And in this industry, the possibility to come right out of high school and to make really
Oh,
good money.
gosh,
And
yeah.
not just that, you learn a life skill that's going to last forever.
Yeah.
Forever. Because most people are never going to know how to build that. And
No.
they're never going to know how to fix that. Or
Nope.
they're never going to know how to do the software. I mean, they're never going to know how to do that. So
Right.
that job is never going away.
Nope.
Right? It's just like plumbers and electricians. I'm sorry. I don't do plumbing. I can put in a sink.
I
Right,
couldn't.
but I don't do plumbing. That's why those jobs are so important.
You
And
need
it's
people there.
nice to have conversations around the trades and not be looked down on.
Yeah.
Because if all these people were working in the trades, who's coming to fix your toilet? Who's coming to fix your car?
Right.
Are you going to learn how to do it?
Nope.
No, because your dad's not around to teach you. It's not the same generation.
Right.
Right? Nobody's teaching you. We're
Right.
going to YouTube it all, right? Like, I'll be out here for 7 days.
You'd be surprised. My husband does that all the time. He's like 2 a.m. in the garage fixing my Jeep because you know Jeeps are great.
Yeah. Jeep life.
Yeah, Jeep life. What is it? Don't care? Yeah, I don't know. But anyways, you do social media. That's
do.
what you do. And sales, obviously. But is there any specific instance where you have seen like a return on the social media for Creston?
I was going to say the largest return is all these people here. Everybody says that this is a Creston show. It's not a Creston show.
Right.
We're just a sponsor trying to get people here. But I am the loudest crayon in the box.
I was going to say, you're loud.
And I
you do
talk about it
everything.
all year long.
Yep.
And I talk about why it's important for kids to come, why it's important for women to be involved.
Yeah.
And I'm constantly trying to pull people in, right? Because the more of us that are yelling it, the more people are going to hear it, and the more people are going to be exposed to it. Right.
Being a woman in the space, do you have any resources you'd recommend, any advice for women who are here currently or trying to get into the industry?
Yes. For me, I sought out people that I admired.
Yeah.
And I sought their advice.
Yeah.
And I sought their help. And even I do that now. Like, I constantly reach out to Eddie, hey, can you help me with this?
Yeah.
So I built this community of people that I love, and I love to watch you guys, and I love to watch you grow and learn new things. But you're my resource for growth. And I know if I reach out to you, you're going to be no problem. I'll be right there, or I'll get to you when I can. And it's not out of obligation. It's because we all want to help each other be better.
Yeah.
Right? And obviously, we want to attract people into this space. And we're together, our network is way larger than if I was trying to do it on my own. So the more people talking about it, the better. My suggestion is follow and engage with the people that you are drawn to.
Right.
And seek their advice, because there hasn't been a single time that somebody's told me no. And closed mouths don't get fed. If you want something, you ask for it. It's not just going to show up on your doorstep just because you think you deserve it.
Yep.
Go after it.
And there's a lot of people that think that way too. So
When I was young, of course, I thought that things would come easier. But with time, I realized if it's something that I really want, is that I'm going to have to cultivate, right? and chase,
Yeah.
right? You may get the opportunity that something falls in your lap, but you're still going to have to prove yourself. You're still going to have to cultivate it,
Yeah.
and you're still going to have to make it your own.
Any way people can find you, like information about you, obviously LinkedIn, but people finding something about you or Creston or the show or anything else you're doing, how can they find that information?
Absolutely. Well, they can go to Creston.com. Most of the stuff you will find out on LinkedIn is that I'm highly active on LinkedIn. We are active on Facebook, but not as much. 4 years ago, LinkedIn wasn't the resource that it is now.
Yeah, it's changed a lot.
Yes. So I feel like LinkedIn really is, if you're talking business, that's where you need to be.
Yeah.
Right? If it's really about business, right? If it's really about business and not go
Dating site.
yeah. The best way, we're going to go to IMTS.
Yeah.
These are the ways that I post things, what's happening with myself, what's happening with Creston. So stay tuned if you want to know more. And always, anybody can reach out to me. And a lot of times, I really do try to answer everybody that sends me a message.
Yeah, perfect.
So,
cool. Well, you heard it here, folks. Joni Cunningham with Creston Industrial Sales. Find her on LinkedIn. Look up Creston's website. You'll find a plethora of information about them and Joni herself. So thank you, Joni, for joining us
Thank
today,
you.
and enjoy the rest of the show.
all right, thanks.